Hey Anthony, so this is a quick tool that we've created after we spoke the other day. So it'll basically generate SDPs and advertise them over Ember, and there's a little configuration tool we've designed specifically for making like incremental groups of SDPs, which is perfect for like the VMU scenario. So have a look and give us some feedback. Now to begin with, you do need two things. You need Node, which is obviously what it's written in. So if you go to Node and download, just download the Windows installer for that. And then you'll also need Git, which is the revision software, the code revision software. So download it as well. So if you install those two things, they're really lightweight tools, and they're perfectly suitable for servers. Then they'll just run in the background, and that's what the code executes on. Once you've downloaded it, then install the node, then you download and install the code. You can pull this from Git directly if you're familiar with Git. Otherwise, just go to this link that I send you and hit the download. Open up the files, and I'm just going to drag them to the desktop. And then you'll find there's a install file. So if you run that install, this is specifically for Windows, and hit the run anyway, then that will basically run an installer. It should only take like a minute or so to install everything that it needs. It's pretty lightweight. The whole thing only comes to a few meg really. Once you've done this install process, there's an SDP generator which we can run afterwards, and this basically runs two things: an Ember service that you can connect to in VSM to grab the actual SDPs, and then a config tool. It's a web-based tool that allows you to set it all up. So we'll run that there. This is just Windows 10 whinging about the fact that it's an unknown publisher. Okay, so this runs, and you basically leave this open in the background, and that'll just stay open for days or weeks. It'll stay open until you close it or until it crashes. I ran it for overnight last night, and it was fine. We'll keep running it fairly intensively before we use it in production. But yeah, it's just a node service that'll be rock solid. We've got plenty of other node services doing other tools around the place, so it's kind of perfect for this kind of stuff. All right, so if I go to a new window here, and I go to port 3000 on the local host, and this basically is the generation tool. So here I can do specify how I want to set up my SDPs. So for example, I can go to VMU out, and let's say we're going to do a couple of control rooms. So I'll go CR1 VMU out, and let's just go 10.20.1.1 is the first source IP, and 232.21.1. And this one might be 172.21.1 and 234.21.1. Port 3000 is what's going to be advertised on. It's going to be a payload of 96. Set the format, whether you want it to be red, blue, so SPS, seamless protected switching, and then how many outputs. So let's say it's got 48 outputs on this desk, and number of flows per source. So on the VMU, you've got the same source IP streams for multicasts, and then it increments from there on. So this is kind of a way of doing that. So then you can go add another one, and these will end up being trees in the VSM Ember tree. So if I go VMU out and go here and go 10.20.2.1 and 232.20.2.1 and 172.20.2.1 and 234.20.2.1, 30,000, 96, 48 outputs and 4, and I could keep creating other control rooms, but let's say we also want to do it for cameras. So let's say we want CCUs and we've got a clean feed, and that's going to be 10.20. Let's say this one's going to be 20. Oh, let's start at 21. Camera 1, 21.1, and it's going to be 232.20.21.1, 234. 172, 20, 234, 20, 21.1. And let's say that we're going to create 50 cameras, and but these are all going to be just one flow per source, because each camera obviously comes from a different base station. And then we'll create a set of CCU PIX outputs. So these will come from the same source IP, but they'll be a different multicast group. So let's say it'll be 21.21.1. 234.21. I'm just making this up. But obviously, you put in the way that it works in the particular thing. Okay, number of increments is 50 and 1. So I go generate config, and that saves a JSON file. Now this file here, we can open this up in, say, Notepad++, and that all it is the big long JSON file that you could actually go and edit yourself. If I format as JSON, I can't remember how to actually change the format here. If I go to my favorite tool online, which is JSON Formatter, and use it to format it, then you can see it's just a JSON formatted tree, Ember tree. So you could go and manually edit this, add to it, remove it. You know, in Excel you could use Excel to generate it. You don't have to use my SDP generator. This is just a quick way of generating, you know, a large amount of SDPs. As long as it follows this valid JSON format, the Ember tree format, then it will work. So you basically, if I close that down, you take that JSON file that was generated, so that was in my downloads, and you put it into the folder where you're running the app. So I'm just going to replace that there, and I'm going to rerun the app, and that's basically ingested that JSON and has advertised that JSON over Ember. So if we wanted to, we could create like different formats. So we could create a 1080i, a 1080p, a 2K or a 4K config file, and that would advertise the different properties based on that. So once I've restarted, we can go into VSM, and if we go into VSM, we can basically make a connection to it. You can see it's on port 9090. I just picked a port that is unlikely to be used, but really it could be anything. We could change that if we wanted to. We come to here, and I'll just create a quick gadget connection. Oops. And I'll call this Sony LSM 170019090. And go to here, Sony LSM. So now that's the reflected identifier. It's portable. It's green there. I can go to the gadget tree now, and you'll see Sony LSM's there, TFC, and it'll go into Node.js SDP generator. And here we've got all of our SDPs advertising all of their unique sets of numbers. And I can go to, say, let's go to the networking. Let's go to the DMU out. And so let's go to XVS out 1, and this has currently got a handmade SDP in it. And if I come to here and delete that out, I could go and grab that and grab that value and drop that in over the top. And now you'll see it's got that correct SDP.